Lapras, this seafaring Pokemon, has been carrying us through the game since Generation 1. This Pokemon is always willing to lend us its back so we can cross the oceans and the rivers to get to the islands that we need to get to. This majestic Pokemon, both water and ice, has many capabilities and is a viable Pokemon inside of competitive. But exactly how viable is this Pokemon? Today we are going to be going over its EV spread, its stats, its abilities, and everything else that makes this Pokemon an absolute amazing mon to put on your competitive party. So sit back, grab a pen, and let's get into it. Lapras, number 361 in the Galarian Pokédex. This is a water-ice type Pokemon that comes in at 8 feet and 2 inches tall. It is 485 pounds. A smart and kind-hearted Pokemon, it glides across the surface of the sea while its beautiful song echoes around it. Lapras is one of the only Pokemon in the Galarian Pokédex that actually has a Gmax form. The Gmax form has over 5,000 people that can ride on its shell at once, and it is very comfortable to ride, without the slightest shaking or swaying. Once again, Lapras is a water-ice dual-type Pokemon. Its base stats include HP at 130, Attack 85, Defense 80, Speed 60, Special Attack 85, and Special Defense at 95. The stat that you're probably paying the most attention to is going to be its wonderful HP stat at 130. Couple that with the fact that it has a very solid defense at 80 and a special defense of 95, you can definitely make this a wall Pokemon to take some hits and dish out some punishment. Coupling with the fact that it has an 85 attack in both special and regular physical, this Pokemon can do some damage and take some licks. Lapras does have a few drawbacks, one of those being that it is weak against more typings than it is resistant against. It is 2 times weak against grass, electric, and fighting, with a 4 times weakness to rock. However, it is resistant against water and ice types. Lapras does have 3 different abilities you can choose from: Water Absorb, Shell Armor, and Hydration. For the sake of this video, we're mostly going to be focusing on the Water Absorb ability. However, that does not mean that Hydration does not have application to be used. Hydration is a fantastic ability when used in doubles format. We will not be using much Shell Armor, and to this point I haven't found a real reason to use it, but we are going to be using both Water Absorb and Hydration. Again, mostly Water Absorb in this video. So Lapras was not only blessed with a Gmax form and surviving the Thanos snap of Pokemon, but it also was blessed with a fantastic array of moves that it can learn. Starting in utility, we can see that there are a lot of different moves here to choose from: Tickle, Confuse Ray, Mist, Hail, Rain Dance, Perish Song, and so on. Whether it's debuffing the enemy, healing yourself, protecting yourself, or attracting the enemy, there are a lot of different utility moves that you can choose from with this Pokemon. The one area that Lapras is lacking in just a little bit would be the setup. However, it still has a lot of things that you can choose. For example, Mist, Perish Song, Helping Hand, Substitute, Dragon Dance, and Curse. Now, some of these moves are definitely more attributed to doing doubles matches. For example, Helping Hand is a fantastic move to help buff your other Pokemon, and Perish Song, regardless of singles or doubles, can turn the tide if used properly in a match where you're losing to then starting to win. It can also freak out your opponent and force the momentum in your favor. Substitute is a fantastic move, as we all know. There's a lot of things that you can do with this Pokemon with these moves. During this video, you're going to see the setup moves that we're using are Dragon Dance and Curse. Curse is going to be our priority. That is the one we are using the most in this video. So now moving into offensive moves, this is really where Lapras shines. There are just a plethora of moves that Lapras has to choose from, both physically and special. So you can see on the video here, there is just a million different things you can choose from priority moves like Ice Shard that are more often than not going to go first, things that can paralyze like Body Slam, really heavy hitting things like Bulldoze, and the other nice thing is it has a wide coverage. You can see Zen Headbutt as a psychic, Liquidation as a water, Drill Run as a ground. There are a lot of different ways you can build your Lapras to really give you a lot of different coverage and or give you the stab moves and damage that you really want to attain. I am personally a fan of Ice Shard. It is a priority move, it is fantastic, and I'm a big fan of Liquidation. However, I am not going to say no to having some coverage on the field, like Zen Headbutt or Iron Tail, things of that sort. Moving into the special offense, you can see that Lapras has a ridiculous amount of attacks that you can choose from. Way more than the physical side even. Anything from Freeze Dry down to Ancient Power, you have it all. You have coverage, you have lots of different stab options. There is so much you can do. Freeze Dry is awesome because you can also hit water Pokemon for super effective with an ice move, which is fantastic. Brine is a little tricky. Ancient Power has the ability to raise all of your stats. There is so many things here that you can do, and like I said, with coverage and Psychic and Thunderbolt, Sparkling Aria with the great double strategies that you can come up there. This is where this Pokemon really shines, is in its special offensive capability. So Lapras does have the ability to learn several OHKO moves. OHKO, if you're not familiar with the term, is one-hit KO moves. Those include Sheer Cold, Horn Drill, and Fissure. Sheer Cold is learned through leveling up. Horn Drill and Fissure are going to be egg moves for this Pokemon. While these moves are not banned on Ranked Online in the game, they probably will be banned in competitive for next year with VGC and Smogon. So Lapras does have several egg moves that it can learn through different parents. These moves include Ancient Power, Curse, Fissure, Freeze Dry, Horn Drill, Tickle, and Sparkling Aria. While all these moves do have application in the game, the ones that you're probably going to focus on the most are going to be Curse, Freeze Dry, and Sparkling Aria. Sparkling Aria because it can damage all Pokemon on the field and cure status effects for Water-type Pokemon. Freeze Dry because of its ability to be super effective against Water-type Pokemon with a 4 times effectiveness, and Curse is a fantastic setup move for yourself, raising both your defense and your attack, but lowering your speed. You probably won't pay too much attention to Horn Drill and Fissure, as you do get Sheer Cold just from leveling up, which is an Ice-type OHKO move. As we stated earlier in the video, Lapras is one of the only Pokemon in the game right now that has access to a Gmax form. If you have an Ice attack on your Lapras at the time of Gmax, the Ice attack will turn into an attack called Gmax Resonance. This is an Ice attack that Gigantamax Lapras use. The move reduces the damage received for 5 turns. Basically, it sets up an Aurora Veil, which reduces damage incoming from both special and physical attacks. With Lapras' moveset and its access to the Gmax ability, there's a lot you can do to use this Pokemon, whether it's to set up your next attackers or to just be an absolute wall to tank some things out. Just keep in mind, at this time, Gmax Lapras is not accepted in VGC tournaments. So let's go ahead and move on so we can take a look at a couple different movesets that we have for Lapras here. Now there's a lot of different ways to build this Pokemon, as there are many Pokemon, but this is a few that I've been having some success with myself. So you can see here we have Lapras. This is going to be a Sassy Nature Lapras, which is going to boost our special defense and lower our speed. We don't necessarily care about our speed on this because of the move Curse. So look at our EV spread. In this I put 252 EVs into HP, 252 into special defense. However, you could split your EVs here into 132 into special defense and 126 into physical defense. The ability that we want on here is going to be Water Absorb. You can see I have Hydration on. That is because once you have the hidden ability for the Lapras, you can't take it off with an ability capsule. And, well, this is shiny, so I wanted to use it. Now when we move over to item, we have some options that we can do. We can either use the Lumberry or we can use Leftovers. And of course there's other ways to do this as well, choice specs and some other things, but these are the two things that I am using for my Lapras build. The reason I'm using Lumberry is because I have Rest on this loadout. So a way that I'll use this Pokemon is keep it in reserve until I either need the type advantage to gain momentum or I need to send out a special defensive wall. Send out the Lapras with the 464 HP, and when I come out, I'll either, depending on the situation, use an attack to kill the Pokemon that's in question, or I'll start going into a curse rotation, 1, 2, maybe 3 curses, depending on what's out there. This will give me bonus to my physical defense and my attack. Once this happens, generally you're going to need to maybe heal up a little bit, so use your rest. The Lumberry will kick in, you'll now be at full health, you'll be awake, and with your physical defense and attack bonus. Now you can Gmax and use your Gmax Resonance skill from your Freeze Dry, which is going to give you that Aurora Veil and protect you more from special and physical attack. Another moveset you can use is either going to utilize a Calm or a Modest Nature moveset. This is going to give you an EV spread of 252 into HP, 252 into special defense, or 132 into special defense and 126 into defense. However, you could also build this into special attack. This is where you could really do whatever you want with this Pokemon and kind of get away with it. Just keep in mind its defensive stats are less than 100 each, so you might want to just be careful where you go. But with that HP stat, you definitely do have some room to do what you want. You still want to have the ability Water Absorb on here, and you can use Leftovers or Choice Specs for this. Adding a setup move, Dragon Dance, maybe a Perish Song, Freeze Dry, and then you can choose what you want at the end, whether it's Sparkling Aria or another coverage move like Psychic. So at the end of the day, guys, Gmax or regular, Lapras is a very viable competitive Pokemon. With a great moveset, a fantastic stat spread, this Pokemon is definitely something you should look at adding into your team. I want to give a quick shout out to Lunlarius, one of the viewers of the Twitch channel, who came into the lobby to give us the ability to raid a shiny Gmax Lapras Den. Thank you, Lunlarius. You are amazing. If you have a moveset for your Lapras that you really like and you stand behind, come into the Discord, come into the Twitch channel, and tell me about it. Let me see it. If you want to have a battle, I'm always up for that. We do that every day. But other than that, guys, I hope that this video was helpful. I hope you got some kind of information out of it. If it was, drop a subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next. Until then, take care.